Hello, my dear students. So, welcome back to your SST class again. Today, we will be dealing a very practical topic that is being means you can say very useful to us in our future life journey. And this is a very common thing which we are listening this term again and again in the mobile which you are handling right now, from which you are viewing me right now. This particular topic is also there in your mobile in some or the other way. If you can guess what I am trying to explain you. See, you might have experienced in your life that sometimes when you are having traveling with your parents or you are going to a journey and you are acquaintance to that place, you are going for the first time. So there's a function in your mobile which you use, that is what? Yeah, Google Maps. So what does this maps do to our life? They help us to locate the places. Okay, locate the places. So one thing is clear, that the topic, the chapter which we are going to cover today, it's of geography, and the name of the chapter is, yeah, maps. Okay, and which is a common application in your mobile nowadays, which you know by the name of Google Maps, yeah, maybe by some other means. So why do we study maps? What is the benefit of studying maps? See, our Earth is a very large place where we live. So we are not well aware about each and every places. Okay, Earth is so huge that we don't know that in which direction which places are there unless and until either we have visited those places earlier, yeah, we are familiar about any model of that Earth. Okay, so in our junior classes we have studied about the model, round model of the Earth, that was called as what? Globe. Okay. Yeah, of course, we have heard about map in those classes also. Today we will make a more expertise study about the maps. What are the maps? What are their types? And why do we study maps? Means how can we use the map? It's not compulsory if a map is lying in front of you, and if you are not able to read those typical colors, symbols, all the things given on the map, then it's not compulsorily that you can make some benefit out from that map unless and until you have a basic knowledge that what does that typical graphical structure shows. Okay, so let's start maps. As far as the comparison is concerned, we are all well aware a globe is a 3D model of the earth and a map is a flat model of the earth. Okay, it's a 2D model of the earth. Fine. Now, if I specifically say about our country India, we have to study our country India through a map. How we are going to study? See, as far as the country of a sorry, geography of a country is concerned, we divide the geography into different landforms like rivers, mountains, plateaus. Okay, these particular features are called and are shown on a which type of map? Physical map. Which map? Physical map. If I am not audible, dear students, you can use your headphones so that you can have a better clarity and better concentration on the topic. Okay. Apart from physical map, see what does the physical map shows? They shows the mountains. Okay. They show the mountains. They show the rivers. They show the plateaus. They show the lakes. They show the greenery, of course. They show the deserts of the area. Then the next category is political boundaries are being shown in political map. The map which tells about the cities, metro cities, metropolitan cities, capitals, even smaller cities. That map is what? Political map. Okay, now coming to a more broader scenario which we'll be studying for the first time in our class 6, that is what, can you depict this word? What is this written here? It's THEME, theme. Yeah. So by the theme word, we derive what, which term? Thematic maps. Thematic maps, my dear students, you might have heard in your childhood stories about the map of any treasure, hidden treasure. Okay, that map is showing only a particular, you know, about a particular area. The map is of particular aim, it has a particular goal. Okay, means it is not going to show the entire things in a broader way. Instead, it shows a minutest detail of a particular place in a 2D form, in a map form. Means in thematic map we can also consider one thing, like if suppose we are covering our Indian agriculture, I want to just see in which all areas in our country agriculture is being practiced. So what would be the theme of that map? Agriculture. So agriculture could be one of the theme. Okay. Climate can be one of the theme. Means which area is having more climate, which area is having more temperature, which area is having a low temperature. Rainfall, of course, is a part of it. So these are the themes on which these type of maps are based. Okay. So these are the broad categories that we'll be seeing on the first page of a chapter. Okay. Now I request to the students, if you are having a book, please keep in front of you opened and just open the next page of your chapter 4 of geography. See, you might be surprised that how are we able to make the map more or less so much correctly. If you get to know about the map in more detail, you will be surprised to know by using a 2D map, which you might have seen hanged in the on the wall in our SST lab. Also, there are maps. There are some scales mentioned there. There are some lines drawn under the map. This side. Usually, these are given on the which side? Right hand side of the map. This side, bottom side. These are what called scales. Okay. So my dear students, these maps are scaled on different measurements. Okay. So what do we do with the scale is, see, our country, our area is so much huge. We can't of course cover the entire map on a small A4 sheet. So every inch of that sheet is related to actual kilometer of that place. Like I will show you, give an example. Suppose 1 mm of space which we are using on the paper of the map may be equals to 10 to 20 kilometers. So in this way we show, indirectly try to show the actual distance between the places through the small distances by using a millimeter scale. If we go for the bigger map, bigger size map, this scale can increase. It can go instead of millimeter to centimeter, yeah, maybe inches. Okay, and this kilometer may again increase up to 50 to 100 kilometer if we are covering a what, world map. Okay, so these are the scales used. The scales give the exact measurement of two places. Okay, there are some techniques by which we can find the exact distance. Today, nowadays, what we do is we just put the name of the cities on a mobile phone and we get the result that these places are 100 kilometers far away from each other. Like Delhi to Shamli, it's near about 100 kilometers. If we are having a proper scaling map, we can exactly find out the distance using that standard map. And dear students, the map which we are making in our notebooks for practice, many of the map there is also mentioned there that this map is not to scale. That means you can't measure the exact distance using that particular map. Okay, so as your book says, there are two particular categories: small scale map and large scale map. Okay, small scale and large scale map. Now what is the difference between two? Difference is again of distance. On one particular map you can calculate the distance in a larger scale and the other one on a smaller scale. Okay, now moving to the next topic, that is directions. Of course we are very much familiar about the directions, and we should be. Let's see what will this direction says. See, there are four primary directions which we are dealing from right from the childhood, which we everyone knows. If suppose I start taking on this blackboard, the first and the simplest way to study the direction is to mark the north direction, that is this side, north. Okay, exactly to the down of north is south. This one is the south direction. Okay, acha. Now comes these two directions. If we are moving in the direction where the clock hands move, that is called as the clockwise direction. Though you are very small to understand what is clockwise, you will be steadily and slowly understanding these terms, clockwise and anti-clockwise. If we move in this particular way, which direction will come? East. Okay. And if we move this way, of course, the south will come. And now the fourth direction which is remaining is what? West. West direction will come. Again we will jump to north. So these are the four main directions, yeah, cardinal directions you can say. Okay, then after this major four directions, there is subdivisions of directions. We will divide this into this fashion by putting a cross line between this. Okay, so how do we name these directions? This these four lines have their four different names. Now it's very easy to name this. This direction is just between north and east, so we name this particular direction as northeast. What we give the name? Northeast. This direction has been derived out from southern and eastern part of midline. This is called as southeast. This line again from south and west part, this is called as southwest. And this one from west and north part, this is called as what? Northwest. So the basic thing, my dear students, you need not have to confuse in any manner. The major thing in this sub directions is the word north or either word south will be written first. As you are writing your name and surname, while you are writing your name, like I say Akash Malik, so you are writing Akash first and Malik as a surname. So in these direction, always either north will be written as a first name or either south will be. In none of the direction you will see east or west coming in the first letter. East and west will be the will be used like a surname. Okay, so now let's move to the another thing of a chapter. Okay, there is some more important things that are given in your chapter. This somewhat, yeah, of course, one diagram is mentioned. This type of thing, if we make some needle and compass, these are used by the navigator in early days, that was called as compass, through which the sailors used to uh, navigate in the sea to find the directions. Okay, now the next thing is, that is symbols. See, my dear students, when you would be traveling somewhere, you might have seen if you are peeping out of the window from your car or your train or bus from in which you are traveling, you might have seen that there are certain symbols used on the road, okay, by which you can come to know that uh, what are the landmarks nearby the place where you are traveling. Like one of this symbol, this is somewhat this pipe-like structure, this one, okay. This symbol is usually used for what? Fuel stations or petrol pumps, fuel pumps, okay. Then there is one more symbol, that is H, and it is used in a particular color, usually maybe in red or green. Then this is for what? Hospitals. Sometimes hotels are also denoted by this letter, but the way of writing and the color, background color is different, okay. Schools, schools again, either it will be in S shape or it will be some kids would be shown in a 2D dimensional by carrying a bag on their back, okay. Apart from that, there are many like in our city, Shamli. If you would have crossed this, there are two railway crossings in our city. So, if a person who is coming first time to a city, maybe in a night, so as a precaution, what the things are being given him as an advance warning, these types of some symbols are made. What does this say? That there is a railway crossing ahead. Okay, fine. Yeah, some these type of symbols this way. This says that there is some bridge ahead. Okay, then there are some symbols like this. Yeah, maybe this way. These depicts was, sorry, I will draw in a more elaborate way. See, if it's a straight line, my dear students, like this, then it's a symbol of a highway. Okay, and if it's a curved line floating in a particular manner, maybe this way, then these are for what? Rivers. Okay, so see, uh, it's a very tough task to show each and everything on a map apart from a place. In a city there are many hospitals, there are many colleges, there are many hotels, hospitals, police stations are there in fact. So we can't show each and everything in a huge way. So there are certain very minute symbols that are being shown on the map in a different places. Either they are using the first letter of that particular place, like if we are showing a police station, we will use the letter P. If we are using hospitals, showing hospitals, sorry, we will use the letter H, the initial letter of that word. Okay, so these symbols are helpful for those people. If suppose they are not able to track out the name of the city, agar suppose you are going somewhere and you lost the name of the city, you are not remembering, but you know that that place where you are going to is nearby to a hospital, yeah, nearby to a temple, nearby to a any school. So you can you by using these symbols you can easily track your place. Okay, fine. So this is one of the use of the symbols. Acha. Now coming to the next part, that is in the symbols itself, there is a use of color that is being mentioned in your chapter. Let's see what are these colors. Okay, and why are they called as conventional symbols? That also we have to see. What is the meaning of convention? Conventional here. Conventional means, firstly, these are being used since many years. Okay, means like a traditional thing. Okay, since many years we are using these particular symbols to make our map reading easier. Secondly, what does this conventional means? It's convenient to use. Okay, if you are good at pictorial identifying, you can identify the arts very easily, then you can easily understand that what all these symbols say. The next benefit of this conventional symbol is they are almost standard and universal. Let me write it down somewhere. What they are standard, or you can say universal. See, if suppose you are traveling abroad somewhere, you are traveling to Russia, yeah, France, yeah, Germany, okay, and a map comes in front of you. So, if at all you are not knowing the language of Germany, that's German or French, how could you make out from the map? In that case, these conventional symbols will be helpful for you because symbols, there's no hardly any role of language in symbols. They are just a pictorial representation. Okay, so if you are at any corner of the world, you are not able to read out the name of the place, it is written in Japanese or it's written in Swiss, yeah, in any other language, symbols will be remaining same as a standard. Okay, now after covering this maps, let's move to our next second last subheading of the chapter, that is sketch. Okay, so what the sketch is? See, sketch is a just rough diagrammatic uh, overview of a place. If suppose someone asks from you that where is your home in Shamli, okay, and he wants to come to your home, fine, and he is belonging to some other city. So you will give him just a rough idea of directions that when he will have to enter in Shamli, he will see this road, he will see this crossing, then he have to move left. Like suppose he is coming from some way this way, he will have to take a right turn, then he will see is like say he will see a school there. Okay, after that there will be some turn. So this is just a near about idea, giving an idea, a layout. Okay, this particular thing is never ever subjected to scale. Okay, it's just a you know drawn in the one go of the hand. You can't make it as a standardized. Every person can have his way of drawing a sketch. Okay, this is just to locate the small things of the locality. Fine. Acha. Now the next thing is plan. The last thing in your chapter is plan. See, this type of particular thing you might have seen in metro cities. In metro cities like Chandigarh, Noida, Delhi, where there are sectors. So every sector is having a map of its particular area. Okay. If any new person comes into that particular area, if there is a new visitor, you might see somewhere in that society, in their locality, there will be a map of that particular sector in which each and every street will be marked like street number one, street number two, house numbers will be there, whatever the serial they would be following. The parks, if there would be a park in the sector, park would be mentioned somewhere, school will be mentioned somewhere, hospital again will be, all the public facilities will be mentioned. So this particular type of thing is called plan. Okay, it's a type of a map only, it's exactly look like a map. See, it is used in both the ways. Please do not get confused that when a society is being developed, when actually the things are not there ready, architecture, a civil engineer can use it in both ways. Before making the society, before making an area, before developing an area, and afterwards also it can be used. So that's why it's termed as plan. You can use it in the both ways, before actually planning it and after implementing it. Okay, so I hope the today's this topic map would be up to some extent clear to you. Now I would be expecting that it's a small chapter of hardly 4 to 5 pages. Just go through the chapter and try to explore a actual map. Okay, uh, it would be given in your history books as well, geography book, map of India, political map of India, physical map of India. Just try to correlate whatever I have taught in this chapter, explain this to you, and then we will take a doubt session after this video. Thank you, dear, and try to explore this. This is a very interesting part of life, the map reading. Okay, thank you.